Our unit, established on October 7, 23, was named Jerusalem Shield. A 100 years ago, there was also a unit called Magen Jerusalem, led by Jabotinsky. Everything is very symbolic and cyclical in our lives, in our history, which unfortunately sometimes repeats itself not in the best way or from the best side. Initially, a group of former Israeli military personnel, veterans of special units and combat squads, was supposed to defend one neighborhood, then several neighborhoods. Over time, more and more fighters joined us. At some point, we realized that we needed to take the matter more seriously, as the war turned out to be prolonged, and no one knows how long it will last. The unit was created in the format of a full-fledged military special forces unit. Assault teams, defense teams, evacuation teams, medical service, technical service, communication service, optics, special equipment, night vision devices, and much more were procured, which are used by any Israeli unit.
And a wonderful example of this is the Jerusalem Shield Squad, which I have been training and preparing for over 3 months.
The most professional and experienced fighters from the most elite unit must always be at their high level. For this, systematic training is necessary. No simulation can replace the real smell of gunpowder, the roar of gunfire, and the recoil of a rifle or pistol. That's why we train every week. Each fighter, each unit, drills again and again until these skills become part of our habit on an instinctive level. This is the essence of combat training, instincts. During combat, no fighter can think, "What's our protocol? Shot from the left, fall to the right, shot from the right, fall to the left." Otherwise, you won't be able to function, resist, and, of course, fulfill the combat mission. Therefore, training is indispensable and the most important part of preparing any unit.
People take on commitments to participate several times a week, for several hours, including training sessions at the shooting range.
The training conducted by our doctors and combat medics for the entire unit is very important because, first of all, we must be able to provide first aid independently to both civilians and ourselves. Then it is very important to promptly evacuate the wounded because first aid is called first, precisely because it is followed by professional care at the hospital level. If the wounded person is not delivered to the hospital on time, the outcome can be very sad. Doctors call it the golden hour. This is the period of time during which the wounded must be delivered to the hospital. By helicopter, by car, on foot with stretchers, it doesn't matter. He must be brought to the operating table on time. The fighters of our unit patrol the city on a regular basis every day. We do it at different times to make it difficult to detect and predict our route and schedule. The most important patrols probably go out at night. During the dark hours, when people are more likely to be in a state of stress, fearing attacks or terrorist acts. And this patrolling in uniform, with distinctive special insignia, undoubtedly gives residents a sense of security. And this is one of the main tasks of our unit. The residents of the neighborhoods, the Jewish neighborhoods of Jerusalem, should feel safe, knowing that there are forces nearby that will always come to their aid, that will prevent any attack, which is even more important. And I think today the residents of the city are particularly grateful to us for this sense of security. They often approach us during patrols, thank us, bring water. Just a pat on the back, sometimes fatherly, also gives us a huge amount of strength and positive emotions.
We all hoped that we will never have to use the skills we acquire here. But if we need to, we will be ready.
What you've seen today is the closest situation to reality. Several wounded at once, a drone operator, fighters defending buildings and eliminating terrorists, rescue team coming to pick up the wounded, take them to a safe place, and provide them with first aid, and then evacuate all forces as a whole. And all this happens here at the Choral Synagogue of Jerusalem, the main synagogue of the country, where the Prime Minister prays on holidays and Saturdays. The Chief Rabbi of Israel prays here, and all this in the heart of Jerusalem. Today, we, civilians, take responsibility for ensuring the safety of the citizens of our city.
The only mitzvah in the entire Torah that says the word ma'od is Nishmartem ma'od l'nafshosechem. We have to do everything that we can with a ribuy shtadlis, extra investment into being there with that true sense of commitment to being part of the greater good for our entire people. Am Yisrael Chai L'Netzach.
Believe that if the situation continues to develop in the same way, and we continue to prepare in the same manner, we will achieve a very high level of readiness. This is thanks in large part to Jews from all over the world who support us. And of course to the fighters of our squad who give their all, who strive, prepare, and stand shoulder to shoulder.
A massive uprising of terrorists from the Gaza Strip was talked about for 10 years. Books were written, scientific military reports were prepared, and even a film was made about it, literally a month before those events. The same thing is happening today in Jerusalem. We know they are preparing, we understand that it could happen, and we will do everything possible, depending on us and a little more, so that October 7th never happens again. At least while we are on duty.